I'm just going to be real. I tried it all. So, were there any supplements that actually worked? I'm not going to give you another list of supplements for chronic fatigue syndrome, but I'm going to tell you why they probably won't work for the real root cause. You see, I spent years and thousands of dollars on treatments that completely failed me, all because nobody really explained what the root problem was, and that it wasn't just in my body, it was actually my brain's operating system. So learning to rewire that system was a real key for my recovery. So if you're going through chronic fatigue syndrome or POTS or mast cell activation syndrome or any chronic illness that's keeping you from living, then this video is for you. So I don't know if you're familiar with the cycle, but that crushing fatigue that sleep doesn't touch, and the dizziness, the brain fog that just, robs your thoughts, and the constant desperate search for anything that will give you your life back. And you've probably been told to try this supplement, to try all kinds of different diets or some new miracle cure. Of course, I did it all. And for years, I was just stuck in a downward spiral of hope and just disappointment. And I was just getting sicker and sicker and more desperate with every protocol that I would try. And this isn't just another Think Positive video, but this is the story of how I stopped chasing symptoms and finally got to the real root cause of what was driving my symptoms. You see, my journey into the maze of chronic fatigue syndrome, ILM-E, CFS, started like it does for so many, with the deep bone crushing fatigue and exhaustion. And it's not just this normal tiredness. It felt like my life force was just draining away and that no amount of sleep could touch it. And so naturally, my first stop was the world of supplements. And it's a really appealing world, and it feels like you're actually doing something, like you're in control and you're doing something productive. So my cabinets quickly turned into a graveyard of supplements, just false hopes, full of all these antifungals, antimicrobials, B vitamins, vitamin D, and iron. I tried all the popular ones people with CFS use for energy. And I started with the basics, the high dose vitamin C, B complex, and magnesium, and really nothing moved the needle. So then I moved on to the more specialized stuff for energy production, like coenzyme CoQ10, D-ribose. For me, it gave a little boost, but it didn't really move the needle much. And then came the adaptogens, the herbs that are supposed to help your body handle stress. I tried it all: ashwagandha, rhodiola, lion's mane, reishi mushroom. The quest just kept getting more and more intense and more expensive. And I saw naturopaths, functional medicine doctors who ran these expensive labs and, these complicated protocols. And I remember the hope I felt when we started the ozone treatments and the Mayor's cocktail IVs and all these vitamins and minerals. And I'd leave the clinic really feeling excited, and even this jittery type energy just to crash harder the next few days. And it just made the post-exertional malaise even worse. It was really like a cruel trick. But then next up was the prescriptions. So my doctors were trying, but really ILM-E CFS is a beast. And we tried things off label like SSRIs, and it really just made things worse. It caused me intense dizziness, heart palpitations. So that was off. I couldn't take any of those. And then I tried some pain medication for my muscle aches and joints. And of course that made me worse. And with every new bottle of pills, every new IV, the cycle just repeated. And, I kept thinking this surge of hope, like, okay, maybe this is the one that's going to help. And, I would just keep working on trying to find a way to overcome this beast. And I just kept getting worse. I'd get these new side effects, and the financial cost was huge. And the emotional cost was even greater. So it's a unique kind of despair. So you start to question yourself. Am I broken, or is it really all in my head? And that question just kept haunting me. And I'm sure it's haunted a lot of you too. So I want to let you know that I did try all of that. Now, the turning point was after years of useless research. I was at my lowest point. I was pretty much housebound, and I couldn't work at all, and I had lost all hope that I would ever feel normal again. And my world had shrunk to basically the four walls of my bedroom. And that's when the turning point came in a way that I never expected it. I actually found a doctor, someone who looked past my huge list of symptoms, my fatigue, pain, dizziness, digestive issues, and even longer list of all these failed treatments. And he just listened, and he told me that told me something that really changed my life. And he told me that I believe you have limbic system impairment. And I was like, I didn't even know what that was. But he explained that really what's going on with limbic system impairment is part of the brain, like the body's threat detector, gets stuck. And it's really in charge of fight or flight response. And it plays a huge role in our emotions and stress and even our immune system. And he said that with conditions like CFS, which are often kicked off by either a trauma or an infection or just a period of intense stress, the limbic system can get stuck in a state of constant alert. And then he gave me an analogy that made really everything click. And this is really what helped the most, was that he said, imagine your brain's smoke alarm is going off 24/7, but really there's no fire. It's a false alarm. So my brain was perceiving normal everyday things such as sounds and lights and a little bit of physical effort, even its own signals like digestion and heart rate. It was taking them in as if they were life-threatening. So this constant nonstop stress response was dysregulating my autonomic nervous system and my hormones and my immune system. And it was creating this cascade of awful symptoms, and I was living with them. The fatigue, the brain fog, the pain, dizziness, and the digestive issues. They were all just the downstream effect of a brain stuck in survival mode. So suddenly it made sense to me why the supplements and the medications failed. And I was trying to fix a faulty smoke alarm by changing the batteries or opening a window. So I was actually dealing with the consequences, the smoke, but never the faulty alarm itself. So the energy boosting supplements, they were just pouring fuel on the system that was already burnt out from a constant pointless stress response. So this was my aha moment. It made sense to me, and the problem wasn't a simple deficiency I could fix with a pill. There's no way that a pill can balance the nervous system. So the problem was in the wiring of my brain's operating system. And healing wasn't about just finding the cure outside of me. It was about an internal process of teaching my brain that it was safe. So I started the journey and the diagnosis of limbic system impairment. So it didn't lead to this new magic pill, but instead it led me down the path of brain retraining. And the whole approach is based on neuroplasticity. And really what it is the brain has the amazing ability to change and form new connections throughout our lives. And the goal was to interrupt the old stuck patterns of this constant stress response that was keeping my body stuck in fight or flight, and to form these new healthier pathways that were all about safety, calm, and healing. And now I just want to be clear and be honest about my experience. I did have a little bit of luck with a few supplements. I used ginkgo biloba. It really helped with intense brain fog. However, I had to start super low because it initially caused these severe digestive issues. So over time, that side effect, it started to ease up. And it did offer a little bit of clarity, but it was really just another Band-Aid. It didn't fix the underlying problem, which was the nervous system stuck in fight or flight. So to truly heal, I needed to address that directly. And the real path to getting better was this commitment that I made to myself, was to retrain my brain. And instead of looking for a magic pill, my daily practice became about actively teaching my body that it was safe. And this meant doing these specific exercises. And we can do mindfulness or visualization, and this interrupts the fear-based patterns that become second nature. And it was the complete opposite of my old approach. So the old way was just passive. I was just waiting for someone to fix me. But the new way was, active. I was finally participating in my own healing, and this was the turning point. So the changes, they didn't happen overnight, but slowly they came. And the first thing I noticed was a small shift in my sleep. I was able to sleep better, deeper through the night. Then I noticed the brain fog started to lift for short periods, and I had moments of clarity. And then I noticed that my pain started going away, and my life just began to open up again. And I could start taking walks, and I remember I was walking soon. Within a few weeks, I was walking a mile every single day. I could have a conversation with a friend. I didn't feel completely drained after. And I wasn't just a patient anymore. I was a person again. So this was my turning point, and it's what helped me recover from over 70 chronic symptoms. So my journey was long and hard and lonely. And I want to be crystal clear. I'm not a medical profession, but This is just what worked for me, and I hope that my story shows you a truth that can offer hope if you're suffering. So you're not broken. The problem isn't a lack of, a supplement or of trying something. It's a dysregulated nervous system stuck in a survival loop. So recovery is possible, but it often requires a huge shift in perspective. So moving away from only treating these symptoms and towards healing the root cause of a nervous system dysfunction. And it's about retraining your brain and showing your body the way back to safety and balance. And just please never give up on finding the approach that works for you. So ultimately, arriving at understanding that my nervous system was stuck in fight or flight was the key. So healing that became my sole focus. And that's why, I want to share with you my 3-step recovery system that's helped so many people suffering from CFS, brain fog, digestive issues, and a whole lot more recover. So my program gives you a step-by-step roadmap for healing using my 3-step proven system where we walk you through exactly what to do each and every single day so you know what to be focused on. So you're going to get 6 months inside of a private Facebook group with unlimited questions and daily rewiring tools to start bringing things back into your life strategically so that you don't get a nervous system reaction. And we do this all inside our program, and you get unlimited questions. It doesn't matter if you have 1 or 70, they're going to get answered. And I just want to invite you to book a free discovery call with me so we can talk about your story and see if this approach feels right for you. And the link, I will put that in the description below. So yeah, that's in there, and I would love to have you guys. So thank you so much for listening, and if you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more content on recovery and share your own failed quest stories in the comments. So I'm excited about building a community of support and showing each other that we're not alone in this. And thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.